All right, we're back. This is going to cover your Thursday second video. I don't have any questions to go over first, which is probably good. That means we're getting it, so we'll be ready for the test Monday, although I believe the test now has moved to Tuesday. So we're going to start Chapter 11 on Monday. So that is what is going to go on. So I'll probably adjust that in your Google Classroom. So we're going to start the last section today, and tomorrow is going to be all review. And so I'll have and the review is going to be, instead of big ideas, the review is just going to be a PDF worksheet. And so we're going to kind of get the idea of how the test is going to be formatted and look, and so we can get used to that. And so there'll be one more video for that. All right. I've added a couple coins here. Here we go. I like that one because it's very flowery. That's a 100 yen coin from Japan, and I added a Canadian quarter right here. So that's just for fun, you know. Makes the videos a little more interesting. I do have graph paper out today because we are going to learn how to graph circles. Okay. This is the one new graph, and it's not super hard, and we're not going to make it super tricky. Of course, I've kept up with you should have your notes every day to write down your theorems and stuff like that. In this particular section, there's no theorems. There's not really any definitions. There's just one formula. And so that's all we really want. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and make room for my stuff. There we go. Lots of shadows. So this is going to be the standard equation of a circle. Okay, and we're going to break it down, and then we're going to see what we're going to do. We're not doing much with it. So this is the equation, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay. The interesting thing about this particular equation is it almost looks like this. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay. That's the interesting thing. So it's almost like the Pythagorean theorem can be used for a circle, to help the circle. And really it can, because essentially, and if you haven't seen it in your book, let me draw a circle. And actually we'll just draw a circle like this. And on graph paper, I want it to fit on the graph, so I'm just going to freehand it a little bit so it's not going to be perfect. So basically what we got going on here is we got a little triangle here. So triangle, well, let me draw the triangle correctly. So we got a triangle here, so that from that, and so basically what we got is a little right triangle built in. Of course, that is going to be the radius, the hypotenuse. This basically is going to be the x minus h, and this is going to be basically the y minus k. So it's the Pythagorean theorem is used to kind of rotate this around and make the circle, to rotate the hypotenuse. We're not going to have to do any of that. I just want you to kind of understand where it comes from, or understand what your book said. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to figure out what all this stuff means. Okay? So the most important parts of this formula are going to be this. H comma k. This is going to equal the center. And R is going to equal the radius. All right. So I'm going to do a sample problem so we can graph it. Okay. So let's go ahead and just start with that. So I'm going to write down a formula here. So x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 16. Okay. So to graph it, of course, we're going to need to get our handy dandy straight edge here. So I'm just going to draw a little, coordinate plane. We've done that before. You will have, when you do it on the test, you will have a little piece of graph paper to do your drawing as well. Okay. So first thing I need the center, and this is the trick on it. So remember the formula. Well, I didn't do anything. So remember the formula is x minus h, y minus k. Okay, and so here's my problem. And so if the formula is x minus h, if the formula is x minus h, that means h is 2. Okay, if the formula is y minus k, then, okay, so it's kind of the opposite, because x minus 2, you'd put a 2 in there. Y minus a negative 3 would turn into a positive 3. So just remember that's backwards. And then the radius, I need to figure out the radius. So that's the center. So that's the center. And the radius, well, I just put a little square root here to figure out what the radius is. And so the radius is going to equal 4. All right, so let's see how to graph it. Well, we're going to graph it onto negative 3. So 1, 2, negative 3. 1, 2, 3. That's my center. I'm going to label it 2, negative 3. That way, if I mess up a little bit, at least I'm communicating where I'm supposed to put it. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one way to do this to make it good is you just tie a little string, but I'm okay with you just doing a little freehand. It's not going to look perfect, but just don't make it straight. And so basically that's graphing a circle. And we can see, if we wanted to, we can even put a radius here just to make sure, if we wanted to, and that's 4. Okay, and it should be 4 all the way around. That's graphing a circle. And that's that. It's not going to be much harder than that. The next thing that we need to do is do the backwards of this. So this is, by the next thing, this is also the last thing. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to put a little circle in here. Oh, we'll put it right here. And I'll draw a circle. Yay, circles. Okay, and so I'm going to need to use this formula, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. All right, so first thing I want to do is I want to figure out what the middle is. Let's see. 1, 2. So that's negative 2. Now I could write it right here. Negative 2. 1, 2. Positive 2. So that's my middle. So let's see if we can put it into the formula correctly. X minus h. So we're going to take the x component, and I'm going to basically do the opposite. So that would be x plus h. Sorry. That would be x plus 2. Let me move over. I ruined it. X plus 2 squared. All right. Plus y. Let's look at this. That's the opposite. Minus 2 squared. And now we need to find out what the radius is. Well, I'm just going to start here and count to an easy point. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 3. I'll make sure. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So 3. We all need to do 3 squared. 3 right? 3 squared. 3 squared. So 3 squared is 9. And so there we go. That is it. It's not going to get any harder than this. This is how we're doing it this year. Your book has fun, different things to do, but this is what we need to do this year. And so we're going to get this done. And really, that's it. If you have any questions, we got one more day to ask questions. Remember, office hours are 12 to 2. And I may or may not get to your question if you email after 2. So we'll do one more video tomorrow. And if you have any questions, that's kind of your last opportunity before the test. So make sure that you do ask them. So see ya.